Hola guys, this is Dave Johnson coming to you from Costa Rica. We're on our 6th trip here down to see some of our partners. Beautiful place, the Osa Peninsula. We have released baby sea turtle hatchlings, got them back out into the ocean with our team at Tortugas Preciosas. We've met with Rescate Serpientes, who we partner with, went out on a snake hike with them. We've done cultural events. We are here at the Peccary Festival, which is celebrating this wonderful wild swine that they have all around Costa Rica. It's been a lot of fun. We have a group of 12 going on this adventure with us, and it has been just a spectacular time. Beautiful weather and one of our closest partnerships. So thank you for supporting the Katie Adamson Conservation Fund and all we do around the world. And we will keep bringing you some awesome updates on all the trips. Pura vida!
Hi, my name is Donald Varela Soto. I am a Costa Rican who lives in a community in the northern Costa Rica. The name is Bijagua. We live in a mountain range called Guanacaste Mountain Range. And we live in between two volcanoes, Volcano Tenorio and Volcano Miravalles. I work in conservation. I manage a reserve called Teipi Valley Nature Reserve, which is a property owned by 3 members. And we are working in 3 things mainly. One is restoration of forest. We work also on monitoring species. We are doing research as well at the place, and we work in alliances with University of Costa Rica or organizations like Costa Rica Wildlife Foundation. And right now we are definitely working in a partnership with the Katie Adamson Conservation Fund. And at Teipi Valley, so our reserve is blessed because we have a piece of land that is about 240 acres that is right next to the national park. Tenorio National Park is one of the newest national parks in Costa Rica, but also is an area that is so biodiverse. It's amazing the diversity that we have in that area. And our reserve works as a boundary zone for the national park. So we started a long time ago. This is about 18 years ago we got the place. And since we got the place, we started doing a lot of work on restoring the areas that were cut down and used for pasture land before with the previous owner. Land was used for cattle farming. Then we have also a beautiful project which is monitoring the wildlife that come and go through the reserve. And this is done by using camera traps, but also our presence in the reserve. And we also do a lot of work with the research. We are doing a few things, and one of them is preserving species that are in danger of extinction from the Guanacaste mountain range. Those are 3 species that we don't know much about them. We know that the populations are declining, and we also have to learn about how to reproduce them because the information is so limited that it requires a lot of work to be able to understand how to reproduce the seed and where the trees will grow better. So we're working on that. And then also we're working on research. So we recently found a new species of frog in one of our beautiful areas in Teipi Valley, which is a wetland that is about 8.5 hectares of land that gets flooded by the rainwater. And about 3 years ago, I discovered that there was something making a different call that I couldn't pick up what it was. And it took me a few weeks until I discovered that it was a small little frog that after I saw it and took some photos, I shared that with some of the friends in herpetology. And they were kind of confused because they thought it was another species that was very common. And it was not until like 3 months after that we were able to have one of the friends that is an herpetologist that believed that there was something a little bit different. And we started to work with a full team that very quickly decided that it was a new species of frog for the science that was only found in that reserve at Teipi Valley. And so we have the three things working there, and all of those things, they have a lot of meaningful. All those three things that we're working, the monitoring project, the research, the restoration project, all of that has a really important meaning for me and for the reserve, which is develop information, understand how the environment is doing, how the wildlife is doing, but also one of the most important things that we're trying to do there is to put that in words that are very easy for the general public to understand, and come into an agreement of what we need to do and how we can do to preserve what we have, and to be proud of what we have around our homes in our community. And we work hard on that because we think that that's the best way to get the people working together with us. We cannot do it by ourselves, that's for sure. We can do as much as we can, inviting people to come, researchers to find new things, to help us understand scientifically what's going on. But if we don't get this in words that the community understand, and the community, the people around the community feel proud of what they have, and then the work is going to be really hard. But what we're doing really hard is to work with the community, to put the information out, to show people, bring people into the reserve, to go and show them what we're doing, show them why it's important what we're doing. And that's one of the main goals we have. Main goals is preserve, of course, preserve what we have, because otherwise we're not doing much for the world. Preserve what we have, learn about the species and how we can help them be safe and be there, but also get the community engaged with the projects that we're running.
Okay, guys, so thank you for enjoying tonight the presentation about the Sea Turtle program. I think a little bit about what we were talking before is the history of like how I started getting involved in sea turtles. Well, I was born here in the Costa Peninsula. How I started working with sea turtles is because my father and my family, they were some of the first actually people that migrated to the Costa Peninsula, like so many years ago. So my father's family, they all migrated from Panama. So I have some people from family from Panama and Colombia, actually, and some from Guanacaste, up in the northern Costa Rica. So that's where a little bit mix of everything in countries and around Costa Rica. So talk a little bit about what we talked before is I grew up eating turtle eggs. You know, I know how they taste. They're really good. Long time ago, not anymore. But you know, that was something very traditional long time ago. You know, like that was actually part of our normal meals. You know, like to eat turtle eggs, because you know, in that moment when big families grow up, you know, when you have a lot of brothers and sisters, and there was not a lot of sources of food. You know, so turtle eggs are a really good way how to get some proteins. You know, turtle eggs. But something that when my father, he decided to change, you know, to start doing some conservation effort, you know, for sea turtles. And that moment is because he saw a big decline of the numbers of the females arriving every year in the area where we grow up. You know, from numbers from 300 to 20 to 50 in years, you know, that is, there's something was going on, you know, in some species. Actually, in the area where I grew up in Playa Piro, my grandfather, he told me that sometimes for a year, 5 or 6 leatherbacks show up, and now we don't have any more leatherbacks in the area. So they disappear. And actually the leatherback population in the Pacific side, in you know, all the Pacific region, is very, very critical. Like actually in Piro and Karate, in the areas when sometimes we used to have a lot of leatherbacks, it's one every 7 years, 10 years, you know. Sometimes, you know, we have big gaps. And, you know, and years ago, there were many of them. Well, many know, but like, 6, 10 leatherbacks is a big number. So my started protecting sea turtles in Playa Piro. And, you know, when you're a child, you follow with your father and you go and learn a lot of things, you know, and that's how I fall in love in protecting turtles. And And since that moment, I still working with sea turtles for that moment. But tonight, I just also want to talk, a little bit about why we continued and we started this project here in 2019. So it's Tortugas Preciosas. I think you are being part of this morning. And it's a little bit talk a little bit about what some of the results that we have and some of the activities what we do around. But we are here, very located, very close to very close to Panama. But this is pretty much whole the Pacific region, and we're just talking a little bit about how the turtles move up and down. But the Osa Peninsula is very, very, the country is very small, compared to all the wildlife that we have in this area. We are so rich and greens and animals, everywhere, that just walk and saw a tapir and you walk outside and see a snake or something like that. Actually, a lizard is up there. So we are located actually in this area here. This is the whole, at least more than 10,000 species of insects, This is very, very rich. 700 species of tree, and every year they discover more and more. We have some specialists and discovering every year more species of tree, more than 140 species of mammals around the Osa Peninsula, and 400 species, of plants, of 4,000 species. And the Osa Peninsula is very rich in birds. We have a lot of macaws. We have a lot of migratory species because the forest that we have here, the climbs and everything is just make perfect actually for the migratory birds that we have. Actually, right now we have a lot of migratory birds from the U.S., from Canada. All the warblers are here actually in this moment, even tanagers. So that's why the Osa Peninsula, we have 2.5% of the diversity around the world is here, and this is more in small corner in the Osa Peninsula. So, and now we move a little bit down here in Playa Preciosa. So this is where we are right now. We are a little bit more far down here, but I think yesterday you got very close to my house. My house is around here. So if you walk down here, so this is the Punta Arenas. This is the area. Puerto Jimenez is right here. And so this is, you can see the areas where we have the boats, and this is the little mangrove that we have behind. And this whole area is the Gulf Dulce. The other ridley, the one that we released this morning, very, very common around here. Actually, they consider it vulnerable around it because we have still a lot females around. The Pacific green turtle, the one that we're going to release tomorrow, we have some hatchlings tomorrow for Pacific green turtles. That actually they start hatching this afternoon. We saw just one popping up. And you're going to see them compared to the one that we saw today. They are really, really fast. They run quickly, so fast to the ocean. They don't wait kind of like the other release. But yeah, this is actually the biggest turtle that we have here in this area. Of course, leatherbacks is huge, but the ones that we have nesting in this area is the biggest that we have. It's about 200, 300 pounds. It's a big animal, close to a meter. And sometimes when she's laying eggs in the vegetation, you can hear that it's a green turtle there because she just move the flippers and make a lot of noise. She's not very quiet sometimes. And hawksbill, the other species I want to just mention, we can see that the category is very critical endangered species for that, because hawksbill is also one of the species that historically has been hunted for, to extract the shells of that species. That one of the reasons that also that species almost disappeared from the Pacific and also from the Caribbean side. Because they make a lot of earrings, necklaces, because they use the shell of the turtle. But we do morning patrol sometimes, Actually, tonight we have one night patrol, but we have another group from midnight into 4 a.m. So the next day we do an early morning patrol, just to check what was just before, after we left, So what we do in that morning patrol is to record every activity for the previous night, mark a nest if some of them can be in situ, because I mentioned, we don't relocate every single nest to a hatchery because that is not the objective of the project. And of course, night patrol, what we're going to do tonight is just go out when it's dark. And the idea is to find the females laying eggs as I mentioned, we're almost at the end of the nesting season, but last night we had one female. We have another female, but a little bit far down, more in Playa Tamales. But maybe we had a chance, we are lucky this tonight, we never know. And the idea is if we have the chance to find a green turtle or a hawksbill, we tag the females, but we also take some measurements of the olive, we take the length and width, and also we do a little bit quickly health of the female, how she is. If we look for hooks, we look for fishing lines and other stuff that we can remove when we are in the patrol. So these are the green hatchlings. So if you see them, it's a little bit more wide, a little bit bigger. And these are olive, yeah. But this one, you can see tomorrow, they are so beautiful. Have you seen green hatchlings before? No. You're going to fall in love, more in love.
Ya le hago el favor, pero ya le hago.
Utilizar para romper lo que es el huevo, ¿verdad? Luego eso es una espina, una uña que luego se nos va a caer, ¿verdad?
This was about to stop. Yeah.
Okay, welcome to Corcovado Foundation. My name is Carlos Villalobos. I'm the coordinator volunteer program. I want to talk about a little bit the foundation program and the other project that we have here. So the Foundation Corcovado started in 2003, and in that moment the project started with work with the community, because in that moment was a lot hunters and a lot problems around the National Park Corcovado. So the idea was to work with the community we live around the area. So our work was to have the environmental education program to teach the people to how to conserve the nature and the environment. I think the dogs are very happy in Costa Rica. They are free. Don't have a lot of food, but are free.
a cecropia tree here in the Osa Peninsula, and this is one of the Slavs' favorites.
Thank you for coming. I'm Leiner Garcia Morales. I'm part of the Rescate de Serpientes Peninsula Osa. I know you already know Laura and Adonis, but I will introduce them again. Yeah, Laura and Adonis. We are all the members of the team. This is a little project called Rescate de Serpientes Peninsula de Osa. So Adonis is a tour guide, local tour guide, and Laura is a biologist from Universidad Nacional. I am a local guide also, and I've been working in the Osa Peninsula for around 10 years in different programs of conservation. Yeah. We start with this project on September 2021. Yeah, one time me and Adonis, we were talking about all the problematic around the Osa Peninsula with snake, because always people was talking about I don't like a snake. If I see a snake, I just kill it, and yeah, it was first what happened. Yeah, this is the only project around the Osa Peninsula focuses on snakes, and I think around Costa Rica is the only project, saving snakes. The Katie Anderson Conservation Fund, yeah, they help us with a little money for gasoline for our motorbike to make rescues. Yeah, we had a volunteer, a girl from Katie Anderson Conservation Fund. Yeah, it helped us to continue working. Yeah, it was in 2021 when we start. The name was Lindy. I don't know. It's unclear in the image, but we work. We found 7 different species of snake. We don't put the individuals, but the species. 8 species of birds, 5 species of mammals, and 2 species of amphibians. For our goals, we need some specials, like I will say things. First, we have to make our registration for our project, for our organization. And thank you, Dave, because we are on the way. Because it's gonna be a long way, but we're we're almost there. We expect that it would be ending this year our registration for to be a legal little ONG. Sometimes a lot of people call us to rescue a snake, and we don't have like how to move. Sometimes we lose the opportunity to go. Sometimes we have to say no, we can't go, and sorry, we can't. That's for that, because we only have the Adonis motorbike. In the Osa Peninsula, we have just like 8 different venomous snakes. So if you go for a snake bit, obviously it's gonna be or a Ferdelang, I mean Botrus asper, or coral. Yeah. Yeah. We have all this gender of venomous snakes. I was walking. Yeah, but the Botrus asper. Botrus asper, Ferdelangs. Yeah.
You survived.
Yeah, I was 15 days in the hospital. Of course, I'm in love with the snakes.
Some people don't want to see the snakes anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, my uncle was bitten by a snake, and yeah, he died.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a bushmaster. That's another history. Laura is gonna talk about a little more, yeah, for our third and fourth stage.
Okay, so continuing with the third stage of our goals, I'm gonna talk to you about we want to make a snake research field, like really doing science, not only the rescues and all of this, which is part of it, but we really want to do science. So for this, we have already our objectives, and we want to, well, as a general one, like create the baseline information for, well, about the social and environmental problems that the snakes are facing in the different areas of the Reserva Forestal Golfo Dulce, in order to make educational strategies to conserve them, to make a conservation. And we have some specific objectives too. Will be like analyzing the social perception through the service, that the ones that already Lena talked about. And then identify like hotspots in the road 245, the one that we make the monitoring, to have like a really like stronger information, scientific information, to give it to the local government to tell them like, okay, in these areas we noticed that there are been more killing snakes in the road, and etc. So it'll be another tool that we want to give to the local government. And actually, the Puerto Jimenez is now we call it a canton. It's like saying a state from Costa Rica. So we're gonna try to give them a new tool for them to start like doing something like really good for conservation. Then, well, of course, continue the rescue of the snakes, right? And we want to really like people know about what we do and what they can do to avoid the killing of the snakes and like prevent any snake bites and so on. We want to make this inventory of snakes to know like really what kind of species every community have around. So we can say, okay, people in Cañaza town, the most common snakes here are these ones, and these ones, so people can really know which kind of species they're living with, actually, and what can they do to preserve them and to avoid any accident. That's one of our main goals. And then when we have the inventory of all the possible areas we're going to study, with this we're going to have information to see where really the endemic species from the Osa Peninsula are present, because there's too little information about endemic species, and they're like really venomous and really important for the ecosystems. So that's another goal we want to reach with this research in general. So in order to try to achieve these goals, we have to submit the permits. We already have all the written things that we need to go to the Área de Conservación OSA area. We have everything written, but we're waiting for our name to be legal and so on. So we need to have our legal name to go to SINAC, and hopefully they approve all this research that we want to make. After that, we need some basic field equipment that we're missing, like GPS and some other things that we will need for the inventories and so on. And the same issue, transportation to go to the different study areas, and yeah, basically. Then, well, the last and fourth stage will be, as I was saying, trying to focus on especially two of the endemic species we have in the Osa Peninsula, which are the Portidium porraci and Lachesis melanocephala. We really want to try to get involved in investigation and really research to know a lot of habits and how to prevent their killing, and well, as much as we can to preserve these species, not only these two, but mainly the endemic ones, like these two that are really, really important. There is so little information about these two, so that's why we trying to keep them like key ones. And yeah, basically this is all the goals we have in mind. At least we try to make them possible, and we really want to thank you all for being here, for listening to us, and for believing in our dream. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, most of the snake bites.
And that.
Much bigger.
This is a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the maximum size is around 3 meters.
That's mistress when they're big. Good for them. They're really.
Even even here in the green,
Will kill you.
That makes me.
This is Dave Johnson from the Katie Adamson Conservation Fund. I am the director of our organization. We've been around for about 9 years now, based out of Denver, Colorado. I'm a retired zookeeper, and we are leaving Costa Rica. Had a group of 12 here with us. It's been a fun-filled week. We planted 100 trees to reforest an area down in the Osa Peninsula. We released sea turtles. We got to release a fer-de-lance that the Rescate Serpientes team caught at a local house. We got that back to the wild with that team, and we got to go to the Peccary Festival and just really embrace the community, the culture, and the wildlife of Costa Rica. It's our 6th visit down here. Thank you guys for supporting us. Thanks to our 12 people for coming out, including little Sophie, our 10-year-old student who came with all the adults. We had an amazing time in Costa Rica. Until next time.